Last episode we tackled some smaller boat jobs. This episode we dive in with little knowledge and stumble our way through some of the bigger jobs.
Sorry Jess, I don't need ya. Have fun on land.
Hey guys!
G'day guys, how are ya? Please bear with us in the next few episodes. We do a lot of boat work. We originally planned to be on the hive for about 1 week and end up taking 6 weeks.
We feel like it is really important to tell this part of our story because we don't want to gloss over all the hard work that we've put into getting this boat on the water.
So we spent our life savings to buy this boat. There was a lot of work to do to it to get it to exactly where we wanted and just getting it right. So, you know, we took our time. There's a lot of jobs that popped up that we didn't expect, but you know, that's such is boat life.
Yep, that is.
On our to-do list was to fix the sink drain, clean the water tanks, anchor winch resealed and installed, and the windows resealed.
Okay, so first job up this morning, I thought I'd fix this sink here because the hose didn't reach. It was about 1 inch too short. This will not budge, I can't twist it off. A bit of a mission. And then when I cut the pipe open, found this treat hiding inside the tube. Yummy, I've got a new toothbrush head. Can't believe this. There's another toothbrush in there. Yeah, I got the joint off. And look, there's another toothbrush down there. I've got a matching set now, one each.
I ran some new hose and we ticked this job off the list. Last episode we removed the anchor winch and window to check for rot. It turned out they weren't too bad, so we gave it time to dry out before coating it with epoxy.
Michael's now just working on the window seal so we can everdure that.
I'm just cutting out this outer skin around the window, taking it off. We've injected metho in for the last 3 days to dry it out. You can see like where the moisture's tracked in the timbers there and all down in here like this. So it's something you really got to keep on top of with a timber boat or a ply boat, obviously. You should be good.
Everdure is a penetrating epoxy that is designed to soak into the wood and help solidify it as well as sealing it. Once we'd removed all the rotten wood, we then painted this on, applying it every 15 minutes until the wood stopped soaking it up. We applied the Everdure around the anchor winch holes, windows and exposed wood on the bridge deck. Before moving on to the next project, we were distracted by another surprise job.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What are you doing there, Michael?
It's cold this morning, so I went to make the first hot cup of coffee. There's no gas, but the bottle's full. So I'm guessing in my gas fitting electrical expertise that it's the solenoid's not working. And there's a little inline fuse here. I'm just gonna check it first. That's what Carl said from Chasing Eden. He said the same thing. He goes, "Oh, you know, I knew it was a lot of work, but I just can't believe how much work it is. But it's all fun." Okay, turn the switch on.
What happened?
This is what happened. Have a look.
Woo!
Got gas.
What happened? What was it?
So I pulled the little relay on the solenoid off, and the contacts were really corroded. So I cleaned it with this handy little wire brush. Pulled the relay off and I sprayed contact cleaner in there, and I turned upside down. All this rust and was coming out. Just kept doing it till it was clear. Dried it out, plugged it in, and I got just to turn the solenoid switch and here. And there we are.
Oh, well, simple fix.
I hadn't planned on cleaning the tanks yet as it wasn't a high priority, but another surprise job reared its head.
Last night, I was brushing my teeth about to go to bed and I could hear these little birdies chirping. It looked like a crazy woman walking around the boat trying to follow the sound, and it was the water tank leaking slowly. There was about half a litre of water sitting down here. It was this dodgy valve that was leaking, so I just emptied them to take the pressure off, and then I rigged a halyard up through the window to lift that valve up so it didn't leak anymore, and we'll probably have to pull those out today.
What's going on, Jess?
Just emptying these water water tanks out, so there's a bit of sludge coming through in them. And we had one leak last night, so we just got to the bottom of the bag. That's what's coming out, so I want to take the bags out and clean them. That's pretty gross.
Not the tastiest looking water.
Not ideal. I've got to call Turtle Pack and see what I can clean those bags with, because I don't want to ruin it. And then yeah, we're just going to pull those out, clean them up, and probably replumb them as well.
Any sort of boat work usually requires a life-size game of Tetris. It can be quite frustrating just how quick your living space can be turned upside down.
Where is Michael? Dude!
Plenty of room.
Like usual, this job took a million times longer because the pipes had solidified to the fittings and were installed so tight we had to cut them out as there was zero wiggle room or flex in the hose. We had a number of smaller jobs to make life a lot easier on board.
So this is how we used to open the hatches and the bilges. So every time we wanted to get in here, we had to find a spatula. So it's hard to find anything in this boat at the moment. Oh yeah, that feels good. No more wrestling. Now, no spatula. Forget about this. Look at that. Easy.
Not bad. Bill track.
I am just wiping out the water tank seats with a bit of vinegar because they sort of smell a bit funny in here, so the less smell the better. Alright Michael, what are you doing?
Oh, just rerouting the water pipe. So before we had one of these mega stiff, terrible hoses coming down from the deck fitting, that hard to bend and move around. Bought one of these whale Y valves. So instead of that going under the seats to select it every time, lift the seats up, we thought we'd just put it in this little back storage here, the backrest of the seat, and then have the fall of the water a bit more of a even fall. Water just sat here in this little pocket up here, was just air and mold just grew in it. So,
yeah, there was so much mold in there.
so if we can reroute it all, keep that gravity going.
This has been an ongoing saga, this water tank. Be happy to see it put to bed. Moment of truth, Michael?
Yes. I hope so.
How many hours have we spent fixing this?
Too many.
Days. We got new valves, nearly all new hose, and they're filling. No leaks yet. We filled these like 5 times thinking they were fixed, and then a liquid spring, and then this, and then that.
Good, no more leaks. So
Yes.
I'm just going to adjust this, hook it up to the deck fitting, and then hopefully the water situation is sorted.
Never want to see those water tanks again.
Last episode, Michael removed the winch to check for moisture and discovered the deck plate needed replacing.
pressure arm's just cactus.
All hands back on deck today. What's happening up here, Michael?
I've taken the winch out, so we had a bit of moisture here. I don't know, we need to just speak to someone and see if this is salvageable or not. Ideally, we don't do anything to it, because I don't want to grind it back, glass it.
Because we don't really know how to
match the
do
colours,
that.
all that stuff.
Ken, the boat yard manager, actually came down. He's a boat builder. He had a look and just said, you know, it should be fine. There's no rot in the timber.
I've just pulled the windlass off the front. Definitely in need of a service. This deck plate here and the pressure arm. You can see it's seen better days. This is the gearbox and the engine, or the motor. That needs a clean up too. So I'm just going to degrease all this and put it back together.
After getting the new deck plate, we had to put the snap bushes in to hold the two together. This turned out to be a lot harder than expected.
Into this bit here, but he said that it needs to go in. You only get one shot in it. it pops into place. You can see that little lip. You've got to wind it in square, so you need a vise.
After finding a vise in the yard, we try to put it back together.
How do you know if it's on right?
Oh, it'll pop. It'll eventually pop. Hopefully the pop is in and not snap. It just feels so wrong.
The first time was a fail. Michael damaged the snap bush installing it, so we took it back to the manufacturer, who agreed to install it for us.
Where are we going, Michael?
Venus. Hopefully, this is it.
After that, we got back to the boat and installed the winch, when we realised again that the stripper arm was completely missing. We'd all forgotten about it. Back for the third time. They reinstalled it for us with everything we needed.
So this is the bit, this is the snap bush that we had all the trouble with. This, we finally got the snap bush in. We've got to put this strip bush in. I mean the stripper arm. So without that,
Stripper arm.
without that,
Stripper arm.
without that. Yeah, we had to put a new one in basically to separate this. Anyway.
After several very heated discussions and disagreements, and a greasy mess later, we finally had it looking like its former self.
Almost there. Righto. Moment of truth. Alright, there we go. Kinda. Down. Up's not working. Up's not working. So I've been working on this winch for hours, a couple of days now even, and we finally got it all wired up, but the down foot pedal works and the up doesn't. So the solenoid clicks when you push the button, but nothing actually happens to the motor. So I thought, oh, maybe it's something to do between the solenoid and the motor. So I swapped the terminals around on the motor itself, and now the problem has just moved with the wire. So we know it's the wire, not the motor. But the problem now is Jess has gone to Bunnings for the 1 millionth time. So I've rigged up a little something special with my spare reel line. Look at this. Ready? You pull this little duvalac.
It was at this moment I seriously started to question Michael's sanity.
Straight over here. Oh, look at that. Straight to the winch control. Sorry, Jess. I don't need ya. Have fun on land.
I've just come home to this string running through the cabin. I feel like I'm gonna find Michael hanging from the end of it. What are you doing with this line, Michael?
You've been effectively replaced by a spool of Rife Spectra line.
Still no luck, eh?
I think I figured it out.
And?
It's just these, I think these are mixed up. So, can you turn...
So like Michael said, originally we only planned for 1 week, which actually is funny because 1 week we thought we were like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's so long.
We thought 3 days. We thought, oh, you know what? It's cheaper to buy just a whole week, book a whole week
Less
out.
stress, let's just get the whole
Let's
week
just get
out.
the whole week booked
Which
out.
is really
It's hilarious.
cute. You go to fix one thing and then something else breaks in the process of fixing that, like the winch. We didn't need to do anything with the anchor winch itself, it worked perfectly fine, but we had to check the deck to see had any rot in it. And in the process of doing that, the winch was completely seized up. So in the process of taking it off, we broke it.
So that was a whole nother saga in itself.
Come up with a little formula about boat work. So the time that you estimate and the cost, times it by 3, and that's the minimum. And then, you know, that can go up to or wherever, depending on your skill level and whatever, how lucky you're feeling on the day.
We came into this with such a small amount of experience in boat work. It's been a massive learning curve for us along the way. We've had to learn how to epoxy, how to prepare and use and paint 2-pack paint.
Electricity, plumbing,
for you.
Gas fitting, everything. It's good.
And water pipes.
Yeah, and plumbing, like the just getting water pipes on is, and while the old ones off is an absolute nightmare.
Yeah. Once it gets old, it gets really rigid and it shrinks. And it is like the hardest stuff to get off. Add to that, you're in a cupboard that's too small, so you can't get any leverage. And then when it does finally come off, you smash your elbow into something. So we had like the sorest elbows for 6 months, 6 weeks, and you would just tap them and you'd be like, we'd be paralyzed.
Just bruised elbows constantly.
It is the crappiest job on the whole boat, doing anything with hoses. We've actually had some moments where we've both screamed into pillows.
You scream into the pillow. That's a good technique. So if anyone out there, you know, is frustrated with their boat work or any other job, you get the pillow and you just stick your head in and you scream into it like that.
It feels so good.
So thanks for watching, guys. A lot of boat work went on in that episode, and there'll be a lot more in the next couple of episodes, but bear with us. We've got some really good stuff coming up once we hit the water.
Yep. We're back on the water in a few weeks, so yeah, don't miss it out because we really get thrown in the deep end the first week. And
so the learning curve only gets steeper once we get in the water, and if we stuff up now, we can sink the boat. So
see you then. Be sure to subscribe and ring the bell if you don't want to miss an episode, and we will see you next time.
Awesome. Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
Join us next episode where we get the anchor winch on and we finalise a couple of big jobs on the boat, only to find more.
So what have you done to get this all ready, Jess?
Sold my right kidney.
I think so.
It sounds easy, but that took about 4 days. Part, you know, doing a few hours here and there.
Anyway, when I was 6, I wet my pants and
rehash
I
anything
hid
else
my
I
undies
said?
in the rubbish bin, and my mum found them, and she was very upset, and I had to wash them. That didn't happen.